Okay. I would think I would spend to, oh, there we go, if I touch it. Okay, I think I'm just used to these like skimming by when you see those 4 little dots, but maybe because it's in the sketch phase.
Yeah, normally those would swipe.
Like, yeah.
It's just a
Sketch.
lo-fi.
Gotcha. So join us. Usually I'm kind of lazy and I do log in with Farcebook, but since it's my health information, I would probably actually do email.
Okay.
Which is not letting me enter or do. So.
No, these are just dummy
type
thing, but when we tap, you can see the little light up there.
Oh, okay.
That's kind of the hint where the button.
Oh, gotcha.
Off.
Oh, okay.
Oops, I'm going too far. So that would be splash page. And that would dump you into the profile builder.
Okay. Well, this is cool because my partner's been wanting something like this as well. So it's nice to see that there's a caregiver person.
Yeah, the intent for a partner figure would be the guardian, and they would have full access as you do to the application.
Okay. And what would a caregiver be?
The difference there is for things like blasting out to your family and friends, the guardian would be able to do. Caregivers are recipients of that information.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
So different levels of access.
And then a supporter?
More like acquaintances who you just want to provide them updates from time to time, but they don't really know details of your diagnosis.
Okay.
Yeah, so you could kind of look at it as like spouse, sibling, or sibling, friend, parent.
Okay.
They're basically just 3 levels set, and you can put whoever you wish to put in those 3 levels.
Okay. 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 So this question I get a little confused about. I had stage 2 breast cancer, but it was still the same like hormone receptor. And now it's stage 4 metastasis. So no, I had this cancer before, but it seems like a different kind of cancer to me. So I would get confused on this question.
Okay. Good feedback.
Because I didn't necessarily have a different type. It's just now at a different stage. So I'm not sure where I'm falling into this. And again, with this one, I had surgery the first time around, but since it spread, surgery, I guess, is not an option. So that was a little confusing for me too.
Okay.
Like surgery is not an option, but I did already have surgery. So.
Okay. And how far apart?
3 years.
Okay. So.
Or 2.5 years.
So did it go away the first time?
I guess so. That was our thought. So it was like stage 2 breast cancer, and then like the chemo radiation surgery, and then I was running a half marathon and my hip fractured. And that's how I found out I came back to my bones.
Oh wow.
And so then it spread to my bones, my lungs, my liver. But since once it spreads, they can't cure it, so they're not just like removing breast like they did before. So that's why that's a little confusing to me. Or I guess maybe if it was just prefaced like with this new cancer, with my current diagnosis, my doctors say surgery is an option for treatment.
Gotcha.
I guess what I'm saying is sometimes like I feel like when you are a metastatic patient, the questions aren't really tailored for you. Like I think I could whiz through this the first time, but then now I feel like I'm hesitant, like this doesn't connect or speak to me like 3 questions in. So I'm like, oh great, how accurate will this feel? But so again, I already had chemotherapy, and yes, it is an option. I already had chemotherapy. Oh wait, this
It's
one's,
a typo on my
okay.
part. So it should say radiotherapy in both of those.
Yeah. And that would be both of those answers again, because I had it the first time and I've had it again since then. I don't know if it matters for what this is asking or looking for.
You can tap it again.
Keep playing.
Yeah. I'll give you the brief overview. So this is your home landing page.
Okay.
If there were questions that you were unsure of that you didn't answer, they would dump into this area.
Okay.
And these would be things you could ask your doctor
Okay.
next time you're there. So you can tap that and then you expand down and there might be a list of questions in there and you could sit there and go, hey, you know, what's the answer to this, this, and this. You can check all those off and then that helps populate this with more relevant content.
That's helpful. So I agree with the statement, but some people get like freaked out about this question. Like the stage of your cancer indicates how bad it is.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, but some people are like, my cancer is really bad. I don't know. I'm just giving like the emotional support. Even like the person before me, everything's very positive and upbeat. And I'm like, yeah, let's be honest, we have stage 4 cancer. So
I had a moment where I was typing this last night where I was visited by the spirit of my high school teacher, who was a nun PhD in English, because I had written serious it is stacked right on top of each other. And I'm like, that looks bad. Oh, bad. That's where that came from.
Yeah.
So
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah,
like
no,
I don't have a problem with it, but I
Totally wanna
know
hear
there's
it.
certain language
Yeah.
like the battle, your cancer's bad. People just
Those are good. That's great feedback. That's what we're looking for.
and I don't know if it matters in any of this too, with like how it's like sorting trials too, or if it matters if somebody's like de novo, like if they're presenting stage 4 at the beginning, or if it's a recurrence. So I don't know if that matters at all and how this sorts you or dumps you into trials. Like if you're diagnosed stage 4
Right
from
away
the
to
start,
stage 4.
or if it comes back, if that matters at all.
It's something we're thinking about as well, trying to put people in the right bucket.
Okay.
So whether it's the first time or recurring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I don't
Okay
think
with that.
people know that de novo. I think that's more of like the scientific, like technical terms and like patient term. That's good. So my question with this one too, do you want me just to move faster through this?
No.
You guys tell me if this is the point of this for me just to
Yeah.
play with it.
Yeah. Play
Okay.
it and talk out loud and tell
okay,
us what's
sorry.
good and what's bad.
No, I think this is a really important question. And I think a lot of times, depending on where you're at in chemo, or if you're newly diagnosed and you're young, you haven't gone through menopause, but certain treatments are only if you are postmenopausal, but they use Lupron and other medications to force us into menopause so that there's other treatments they can use for you. So like right now, I'm in menopause and I'm 35, but it's because they've given me shots to shut down my ovaries to put me into menopause.
Gotcha.
So I just don't know if there's like a way where my medication has put me into menopause or.
I see. So what you're saying is the choices are not, you can't pick a choice on the screen with what you've experienced.
I mean, I can, but I'm not sure if it's, I mean, I haven't had natural onset menopause. I've had
Yeah.
chemically induced menopause, but I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, so we can add another option and say, I'm in medically induced.
Yeah, I don't, because might make me look like I'm not eligible for certain like Ibrance right now that's out for metastatic breast cancer. You have to be in menopause, so they put me into menopause just so I can take that drug. So I don't know if that would skew like show what different options are for. Am I making any sense?
Yep.
Okay.
Totally.
Sorry, I had a long day with scans, so I'm a little tired. This is kind of cool. The estimated cost and the treatment time of these drugs. I was just on the phone the other day. I have 2 new chemo options to figure out, and I was trying to get a hold of Medicare just to ask them like how much each one is, and that question seemed to blow their mind. So I know it would like depend, but it's nice as a patient to have some concept of like, is this going to bankrupt me or?
Yeah, no, and they do.
Yeah.
A friend of mine's daughter had a brain tumor, and she went in the hospital for one day.
Mm-hmm.
2 chemo treatments in one day. He got the medical bill, 3 line items, $90 for an hour's worth of social worker time, $191,000 for one chemo treatment, and $190,000 for the other chemo treatment.
It's insane. Did they have room and board? Did she stay one night or was it just one day?
No, it was an in and out.
It's crazy. Like when they tell you just the room and board is like $60,000 a night just to stay there. I'm like, if I was going to spend $60,000 to stay somewhere, it would not be in this like hospital room.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy. The other day they stopped my blood injection in the afternoon, but they had already given it to me in the morning, and it's $5,000 or something. My doctor's like, oh, well, you didn't need to have that. I was like, well, great. Are you going to pay for it? Like, it's just crazy. Like the money that's kind of wasted in the back and forth. I wonder too, I don't know if it's on here, I just haven't gotten into it yet, but like a lot of like the drug companies offer like patient assistance programs, you know, or like a copay card. So I don't know if there's ever like a availability or space for this, or if that's even a goal, but to like, oh, estimate cost, and you could like click on like ways to help pay for things. I don't know.
We'd love to hear those.
Yeah, we have like copay cards that brings my copay for my chemo from $2,000 to $10. So that's just like applying through Pfizer. How's your friend's daughter now?
She's doing good.
Okay. How's your buddy's bank account now?
He was working for at that point. It might have been Oracle or something like that. So I think he probably put out about $8,000 or $10,000 for the year.
Yeah. And then it was like catastrophic
Payment,
coverage
and
or
the rest of
whatever.
it was all
Insurance. Yeah.
But he was just showing me the bill. He's like, this is what you have to look forward to.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Moving on your absence, anyway, you were taken to the hospital by the helicopter and did surgery. So still waiting for another surgery anyway. So the bill currently now is already $250 million. It's like not too at school.
It's so crazy. It's so expensive. It just sucks because you're not spending money on any, like, okay, yes, you're staying alive, but like when you have this for a long time, like, ooh, let me pay for this medication. That's going to make me crap my pants. Like, I can't wait to shell out for that. You know, it's just like really frustrating. And a lot of it just makes you feel better or worse. Sorry. This is kind of cool.
How are you feeling about the font size of it?
I mean, it's fine for me. I mean, can you like, zoom in or out with it? You know, like the
Pinch.
Does it have the pinch feature?
We've been thinking we let the users set it on the way in their profile.
Yeah.
Slide or change fonts on the page.
Okay. That's a good idea. Because I'm fine with this, but do you know when I look over, like, I feel like my support groups I go to, everyone's like 65, 70 within them, and they all have like that super large print font. So like, let me send you a message sometime, you know, and it's like the graphics are like that big. So that might be helpful for some of the people I know I see around here. That could be helpful. I don't know. I think it's pretty user friendly. But I kind of geek out and read a lot of the research and stuff, so I don't know if some of this people would need more information, but maybe. Is there a way that they could like click on something too, like I'm not understanding this, and they can add it to like a doctor's question? That's pretty cool. Where does that take you? What does that voice thing tell you? Like,
What do you think it should do?
I guess be like a little podcast or a little like quick explanation from a medical professional about it. Although if it's for like a drug, like if you're going on like Xeloda, it's spelled Xeloda, maybe it's just helpful for, that would be just to say it so patients know how the hell to even like say the medication. Because some of them are just kind of weird to even say.
It's true.
Like,
we were thinking about having the app read the articles to you.
oh, that could be good.
So, some feedback with Molly said she suffered neuropathy badly enough that it affected her retinas, and the retinal nerve wasn't able to read.
Wow. I think that would be pretty good. Like, where's like another one that's
dollar sign there, I guess can give you a sense like $4 sign, $3 sign, but do you think you would know what the range in that? Like $4 sign, what is like $3 sign, like what's the difference? Like how much more expensive and cheaper?
Yeah, I wouldn't have any idea of that because I've been on some Afinitor, like an oral chemo, and it was like $10,000 a month. And so, is that really high or is that really low? And I'm not sure, is that like saying what it is for a patient after insurance, or that's just the drug, how much it is in general? And then also, like, I mean, I'm on disability now, so I get Social Security, which is like minimum wage basically. So I almost wonder too, like as a patient, something I would do if I saw those dollar signs is I would sort it, like if I could, by like price low to high, and like try to, like, you know, when you shop for anything online, you're like, ooh, what shoes are on sale? And then I would try to take like the bargain basement. So I don't know, that would just be my, I don't know if that's a pro or a con about it, is that patients might be trying to push a therapy based on the cost if they actually knew what the cost was. I don't know. It's just like a scenario, but I like it. Like you said, I'm not sure what the reference point of what that is. So this level of evidence, like rating, is that something that you guys are like building into it?
What do you mean?
So right here where it says level of evidence, and the rating for it?
Yes. So it would be the level of success of that treatment across people who've been on it.
So would that be like progression-free survival, or like overall survival, or percent of patients that it actually worked on?
That's in there as well. I think that's further up.
Oh, yeah.
Overall survival.
Okay.
So,
feel about the language used? Is it easy to understand?
I think it's easy, but I've noticed in like support groups I'm in, I was a social worker in HIV and had my master's degree, and so I was already working with a lot of medical terms. And then I've had like stage 4 disease for 5 years. So, and my dad's a doctor, so I think I've really picked up, and I already had some experience with medical terms. So I just noticed like there's a big literacy difference, so especially around just like medical information. Whereas women in the room might be brilliant in their field, or people, it's mainly women because it's breast cancer in my support groups, but they just haven't had the exposure to these medical terms. So,
it was mentioned earlier, there seems to be two very distinct types: those who just do what the doctor says, and those who research the heck out of it. Right?
mm-hmm.
Seems to be two separate camps.
Yeah, it's interesting, and I feel like those needs are very different too sometimes. So, like seeing some of like overall survival or like those things, or saying cancer is bad, freaks those people out. Whereas people that have done the research were like, yeah, I know it's bad, and I've seen kind of what the survival rate's going to be, or so I don't know. For some people, it might really scare them. I like ease that up. Like I like to know as much as I can, but also I don't know if you're seeing those groups are in different pools or age groups of clients too, or populations that are more likely to use an app. Like, is it more like younger or higher educated people that might likely use an app that would also want that information right there? I'm not sure.
We're still in the research phases of trying to understand who the target
Yeah.
would be. But to give you a sense of who we've interviewed, anyone from late 20s, early 30s, all the way up to their 70s.
Right.
So we've learned it's not about the age, it's not about the sex, it's more about their attitude and personality.
Yeah. I think one of the most aggressive and most savviest was
the older lady. So it's really about how much
she's
the
like, this is my
individual.
life. I'm, don't constrain this to a certain range or zone. I would go to any clinical treatment on the face of the earth.
Good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's dependent on how the approach is of the patient.
Yeah. I guess I just wondered, because of like the exposure I have like coming actually here to support groups and stuff. It's like most of the group I can send them like an email, or like we're connected on Facebook, but for some people, if there's like a focus group or something, we'll like print it out because they don't use those tools as much. So, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they're more invested or not in their treatment. It's just,
for you personally, do you feel you would use this app on the phone, or what, or other technologies?
I mean, maybe my iPad, but from what I'm seeing, all like, and tell me if I'm wrong, it's hard to like kind of play and know what's going to be built out or not. It's just like a treatment tool at the beginning, or when a treatment change is going to be made, right? This isn't going to be like a symptom tracker or anything like that.
I think we're looking at that actually.
Okay.
Because side of you're basically reading up on, it's tamoxifen. What are the side effects? Okay, now I know. And then you can track your meds, you track the schedule when you take your meds, and then you could see that when I do this, this, and this, I feel like this. That sort of thing.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the aspirational goal.
Right.
But to be able to track your side effects, be able to talk or notes, talk to your doctor about it. Maybe chemo's not working for you, and you should shift off to something else.
Right. That's, I mean, because I'm on treatment forever, that would be something I would be using more often. And I even want to get like an Apple Watch that has some kind of like cancer app, that can somehow like monitor like my blood pressure and my temperature, and I can push what my side effects are like during the day. But if this is just something I'm going to look up like potential treatment options when a change happens, maybe I would just keep it on my like tablet.
Yeah.
I wouldn't need like immediate access, I guess, to this, because I would be maybe making those changes every like 3 months.
Right. In its current form that you see today, we totally realize that's more of a 1 or 2 time access as we need it. But then the next iteration of the actual app that we're going to release in December, January, we have the social component, which is on the beginning. So different caregiver, guardian, supporter who you can bring into the care circle, and you can update them via a status update of sorts. That aspect, as well as from what we gathered today, like a scheduling tool where you can go, okay, here's my next appointment, and then a checklist of checking out this one I need to do next.
Right. I guess I'm lost on like the connection, the jump between like connecting all of my friends or whoever to this, and then kind of once I got into it, having it just very, very helpful, but very technical information about a bunch of different treatments. So like, what would I be then passing on to my family and friends? Because this to me seems like a technical science resource, or like this is how chemos work and the cost, but it doesn't give me that like warm and fuzzy like unicorn feeling of like I want to keep personal information and like special messages about my treatment to send to my family.
Sure. I think we're looking at it from a couple things. There's the evidence-based treatments, there's the clinical trials. Then there's like the knowledge library, which is less jargony, less scientific. You know, that might cover holistic things like yoga and special breathing techniques and things like that. So it's moving beyond just the medical medicine science part to other things, and part of that is expanding it so that it covers your social support group. So you know, if you have your spouse or your mom or your brother or whoever, you can broadcast out to the people that you care about, not necessarily Facebook, but the people that are around you, so you don't have to re-explain yourself 32 times how you're feeling, and console people that you're sick. That was some interesting feedback we got in the last time we were here, that you know, a couple of people said that they felt like they were counselors and they were having to counsel their friends that they had cancer. And their friends were like completely normal, and they're breaking down. Oh, I can't believe you got cancer. No, it was me. It's like, wait a second, I got cancer. You should be taking care of me.
Oh, all the time. That happens all the time. I like my friends, I notice now, because we're at the age where everyone's having babies. So everyone consoles me, I think, but consoling them, but because I can't have kids. I keep getting people naming their babies after me. And it's like this really weird thing. It's like, really, my name's Jennifer. Like, we should have retired that in the 80s, like a long time ago. And I'm like, that's not an honor. It's just kind of getting, like, I don't know if it's this backward, like, consolatory prize or something. It's been really weird. But yeah, that happens a lot. But I don't know if this is the information. I feel like I would then have to sit there and hold their hand and walk them through this and explain.
Well, you have a choice. The
what that
guardian
means.
account is the one who can see everything.
Right.
And then the caregiver can see it if you let them. Supporters don't see any of this. They just see the more information that you want to estimate in that aspect. How you're doing today. Or just a message saying, I'm really tired, don't call me.
You can share your story, and kind of like social media
Yeah.
update. And then, but for the caregiver or other groups, if they think they're intelligent enough, they really to do research for you. You can share the treatment information with them. So, because you know, we heard a lot of stories. Some friends or family member actually, because you know, as a patient, after your therapy, it's about pretty tired, and then they obviously if they have affected vision or kind of stuff, they actually don't necessarily wanna or can capability to do the research a lot. Turns out a lot of research is done by their friends and caregivers. So I think it provides some really turns out good like treatment option or clinical option for them. So that's kind of what we talked about. That can be another thing to be used.
That makes sense.
Thinking back to when you were first diagnosed and the timeline from the first encounter of the issue when it was tested and when it was positive, do you think an app like this would have helped you in that space?
Yeah, I definitely think it would have been really helpful then. You know, you're trying, like, that's why I'm like flipping through it now. I'm like, okay, I'm kind of an old, I've had to really learn this stuff a long time ago, so maybe it's not as useful. So maybe I'm like an outlier. But I definitely think like when I was age 2, I don't even think in 2007, I don't know if we even had like smartphones then or whatever, but it would have been really like helpful to understand like what is estrogen, what are these hormonal things, to have it like kick up like what questions could be used like or to take to my doctor. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm like, I think it was like, it makes me feel old thinking back to it, but there definitely wasn't resources and there definitely wasn't anything like this. So I think it does walk a patient through like questions and information that they may not be able to tease out. Because I feel like a lot of things either go from like WebMD to like NCI. You know, it's like you're either in a clinical trial or you're reading like a very basic like, here's cancer. So this, I feel like at least it falls in between those two, which I think is a good space for a lot of patients to be in. So I think it would be really helpful during that initial diagnosis when you're like learning the ropes time. What do you guys want us to do?
Cure cancer.
That would be fantastic.
That's literally the ultimate goal. So this is tied to Dr. Patrick Soon-Chung. So he's doing all sorts of genomic testing. And,
They sell them in 60 minutes.
Yeah,
Yes.
so I mean, we want this to be a portal where patients can learn more about cancer genomic and proteomics analysis opportunities, and be able to get these analyses through Patrick's network and resources, and then be able to take those results to your tumor board, and then the goal is to bring personalized medicine to everybody. We're far, far away from that.
My question for that is there going to be something that's going to be educating the providers as much as it's going to be educating the patients? Because I had the genomic profiling and like it was Garden, I think. Is it Garden or a different one? It's just like the blood sample that checks like the DNA of like the DNA, I guess, of the cancer. And my doctor could like, and she's at UCLA, she's the head of the breast cancer thing. She could pretty much care less about it. She said, that's great, we have this, but we don't have any drugs that can maybe find what's needed to treat this. So I guess we can use that as a baseline for years down the road. But I feel like I hear more and more patients talking about it, or we hear about it, but then we take it to our doctors at this point and they're like, yes, we have nothing to help you with that.
So we're definitely taking into account that fragile, delicate relationship.
Yeah.
But one of the goals is to identify doctors who are pro genomics, have the background to do it. And future studies of the product, we can have a recommendation sheet just for the consumer to know, hey, in America, these are the doctors you can talk to if you are interested in pursuing the opportunity.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
That would be great.
So it's on the roadmap.
Yeah. Am I the most difficult person today?
No.
Okay.
Don't ever feel that way, please.
Like you said, you can't do anything wrong. We were beginning, it's all good feedback.
Do you have any other questions or suggestions on how to improve this app's experience for you?
I mean, I think I think it's really helpful. Again, like it helps like a newly diagnosed person or somebody that's new to the game, like bring information, and maybe they could like send it to their family to understand this, or be connected to it. I don't know if I need it to step into like do some of like I have like a blog and some other things that I use that I'm already.
So we have a group in here at 6.
Yeah, we know. We're just wrapping up. Thank you.
I don't know if I would use this to then send out messages or anything like that, because I feel like I already have a system like that. And again, it just seems too separate for me. Maybe if I was like on my tablet, I would like copy and paste. But then here's my thing, is like my mom's weird enough about cancer. So for me to think that she's going to download this app, become like a sponsor or a supporter or a caregiver or whatever else, which is probably not likely, or if she does, she become very frustrated. She doesn't do well with my cancer. To then hopefully that she would read the one like back sheet I really want her to read and be able to understand it and get it, and then have a good conversation with me and have that add to my cancer care. That I think you would cure cancer before that happens. That doesn't seem a likelihood in my family dynamic. I think my partner and I, we have an option of 2 chemos, so we took a spreadsheet and we're comparing like who makes it, the cost of, we're basically doing this with 2 drugs, and the 2 of us are doing that. But I don't know even any of my best friends that are ready for this level of information or what they would do with it.
Good. No, you're good.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing it.
You're
Thank
very
you
welcome.
for your
Thank
time.
you for your time, and thank you for helping us out
And sure,
and
so
making
many
things
other
better.
May we grab your email for follow-up questions?
Yeah,
As we
yeah.
continue developing?
100%. And are you guys doing like the testing of this for like the guardians or the caregivers?
Eventually, yes.
Is my partner might have a very different view of it, so maybe you would have.
Yeah,
good
we
feedback.
definitely plan to talk to a different.
Okay. Maybe he sees it and what we need and what people around us need in a different way. So cool. Thank you.
Thank
You're very
you.
welcome.
I hope
It's okay.
I feel badly. Like I
No.
was a jerk about it.
No.
Like,
All right, hold on. Let me read it again.
I know I didn't do anything wrong, but I just
Don't worry about hurting our feelings.
That's
Right.
what we're
Just
looking
to
for. So you
improve-
did a very good
I
job.
understand it. It's like I'm a designer. I eat criticism breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's like,
Yeah.
so
fix
you have to
them.
remember I was a social worker, so mine was to like be like, let's fix things and let's make things smoother over and be good and
Oh no! In fact, designers get a bum rap because it's like we eat criticism, but when we turn around and feed it back, it's usually like not reciprocated. It's like, no, we don't want that feedback. You're negative. You're designers, and really, it's like you're not being negative. You're analyzing something to make a better experience, and a lot of people perceive that as negative. So I think your feedback is perfectly fine.
I think I'm just at an outlier of like a different place of what my needs might be too. Like if
That's-
you're just in a short term, like you're stage 2, here are some things you might need to know.
Right, and I think I think the ultimate goal, and it's not like we're done in December.
Yeah.
It's a couple of years stretch that we're hoping to grow it out
Yeah.
and attach it to other things. So, like for instance,